A brand new central air conditioner costs between $5,000 and $12,000 installed. 20 years ago, that machine would run for 15 to 20 years without a major repair. Today, industry data shows the average AC lifespan has dropped to somewhere between 10 and 15 years, and a growing number of units are failing in half that time. The heart of the machine, the evaporator coil, is where it starts. And the coil story is one of the most documented, most litigated, and least talked about betrayals in American home ownership. The evaporator coil is not a glamorous component. It sits in your air handler, hidden behind a panel, and it does one job: absorb heat from the air inside your house and send cool air back through your vents. It loops refrigerant through a grid of thin tubing surrounded by metal fins. When it works, you never think about it. When it fails, you feel it instantly. Warm air coming from your vents on a 95-degree afternoon, a $1,350 repair bill, and a technician telling you the part is barely out of warranty. That scenario is not bad luck. It is by design. 40 years ago, evaporator coils were built with thick-walled copper tubing. Copper conducts heat efficiently, resists corrosion reasonably well, and, critically, can be repaired in the field when a leak develops. A skilled HVAC technician could solder a pinhole, recharge the refrigerant, and put the unit back in service. The repair cost may be a few $100s. The coil itself might last 20 years. The coil sitting in most new residential AC units today is a fundamentally different product. It is thinner, it is harder to repair, and in thousands of documented cases, it has failed in under 5 years. Starting in the mid-2000s, manufacturers began switching from traditional copper tube coils to thinner copper designs with aluminum fins and aluminum supports, a combination that turned out to be chemically unstable. The contact between copper and aluminum, combined with household chemicals, humidity, and heat, creates a reaction called Formicary Corrosion. It is not dramatic. It is invisible to the naked eye. Microscopic tunnels form inside the copper tubing walls. Refrigerant seeps out slowly. The unit gradually loses cooling capacity. You notice it right before the system quits entirely. Lennox Industries was at the center of the most documented legal case this failure pattern ever produced. Between 2007 and 2015, Lennox sold air conditioning systems under at least 6 brand names: Lennox, Airflow, Armstrong Air, Air Ease, Concord, and Duquesne. All of them containing the same uncoated copper tube, evaporator coil susceptible to formicary corrosion. According to the class action lawsuit Thomas v. Lennox Industries Incorporated, filed in the Northern District of Illinois, Lennox knew or should have known about the defect. Homeowners were replacing coils within 2 to 4 years of installation. Some replaced the same coil 3 and 4 times. One homeowner in Houston reported that all 3 coils in his newly built home started leaking within 3 years of purchase. Lennox settled the lawsuit in 2015. The settlement did not require Lennox to stop selling the same design. It did not reimburse homeowners for labor costs on a first failure, which averaged $1,250 out of pocket. The company denied all wrongdoing. Customers who missed the opt-out deadline gave up their right to personally sue. The coils kept shipping. The second cost-cutting change is not about the material itself. It is about repairability. When an aluminum coil or a microchannel coil develops a refrigerant leak, it cannot be patched. The metallurgy does not support field soldering. The only option is full coil replacement. A replacement evaporator coil costs between $550 and $1,100 for the part alone, plus approximately $700 in labor, according to industry data from Angie. That totals well over $1,350 on average. For a component inside a machine, you already paid $7,000 to $10,000 to install. And because refrigerant handling requires a licensed technician, you cannot do it yourself under any circumstances. The moment a coil becomes irreparable, it stops being a component and becomes a planned replacement event. The manufacturer profits from the part. The HVAC contractor profits from the labor. And the homeowner pays for both. The third pattern is that this is not one brand's failure. It is a documented industry-wide shift. Consumer Reports has consistently flagged reliability concerns across major residential HVAC manufacturers. Carrier, which owns Bryant, Payne, Heel, Tempstar, Comfort Maker, and several other brands, has faced coil reliability complaints across its product lines. Goodman, acquired by Japan's Daikin Industries in 2012 for approximately $3.7 billion, has logged some of the highest volume of consumer repair complaints in the residential HVAC category, according to BBB data. York, owned by Johnson Controls, has faced similar documented issues with condenser coil premature failure in humid climates. What all of these brands share is not a technical coincidence. It is a financial framework. The U.S. residential HVAC repair and replacement market is worth tens of billions of dollars annually. A machine that lasts 20 years generates one sale. A machine that needs a coil at year 6 and full replacement at year 12 generates 3 revenue events. Shorter product life is not a defect to be engineered out. It is a revenue model to be protected. In 2008, Ingersoll Rand acquired Trane for approximately $10 billion, folding one of America's most trusted HVAC brands into a global industrial conglomerate that restructured in 2020 and rebranded as Trane Technologies. That same year, Carrier Global was spun off from United Technologies as an independent company. The residential HVAC market is now dominated by fewer than 10 manufacturers. Most of them subsidiaries of multi-billion-dollar conglomerates with shareholders expecting quarter-over-quarter growth. Engineering a coil that lasts 20 years does not serve that expectation. Quality becomes a cost center to be minimized, not a standard to be upheld. So, what do you actually do before your next purchase? First, ask specifically about coil construction. Request an all-aluminum coil, not a copper-aluminum hybrid. Aluminum is more resistant to formicary corrosion than uncoated copper in today's tightly sealed homes, where volatile organic compounds build up in the air supply. Trane pioneered the all-aluminum spine fin coil in the 1980s and still manufactures it. That is verifiable product history. Ask for it by name. Second, look at equipment manufactured before 2007 in the used or refurbished market. Pre-consolidation units with thicker copper tubing, manufactured before the cost-cutting transitions that followed the wave of acquisitions in the 2000s, are available through licensed HVAC resellers and liquidators. They are not always pretty. They are often more reliable than what is in the box at your HVAC distributor today. Third, get an extended labor warranty in writing, not just the parts warranty the manufacturer offers. Parts warranties sound impressive until you realize they cover the coil, but not the $700 it costs to install it. A third-party extended warranty that covers both parts and labor for 10 years is worth pricing before any major installation. Fourth, avoid any system sold under more than one brand name from the same manufacturer. If the same unit is sold as a Carrier, a Bryant, a Payne, and a Heil, you are buying a commodity product with a marketing label. Ask your contractor what is actually inside the box and who built the compressor and the coil. In the next video, we are going inside a different kind of corporate betrayal. What happened to the American furnace, and why the heat exchangers cracking in your basement right now are following a pattern that started the moment private equity entered the HVAC space. If you want to know about these things before they cost you thousands, subscribe. This channel is where the information lives that the manufacturers hope you never find. You paid for a machine built to last. What they shipped you was something else entirely.